Hi, this is vlog entry 145, I believe, and it's about 3:05 p.m. CST, or 3 o'clock p.m. CST. I made a video yesterday, and then I posted it for like a couple of hours, or I think it was like for like more than half the day, but then I took it off for reasons I don't feel like specifying on why. I don't know what happened last night, but I just could not sleep. I was seeing a lot of things. I don't know what it was, but I was having I don't know if it was like a panic attack or something. I don't know, but I had trouble sleeping. But you know that has happened. This is the second time happened to me ever since I moved here back in around February. That same thing happened. So yeah. Oh well. I think it was seen as paranormal because, well, I don't feel like having to talk about it, but it seemed paranormal to me. People are actually, you know, if they actually believe in that kind of stuff. I tend to be, I used to not be a superstitious person until I started seeing things that I just couldn't explain with my own mind, so I've given up on that. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm just randomly talking about that, but yeah, I'm just letting my stream of consciousness go through. Yeah, so I've been thinking about a lot of things, and a lot actually, and you know, I think I'm going to start siphoning my interest into Neovim, which is my primary editor, and also like backend stuff. And I did talk about in the last video, the one that I deleted, that I wanted to get into backend, and so I'm going to be doing that most likely. Because I want to move to the Netherlands in the next few years or so, and I'm planning on, you know, getting some kind of expertise, and then get some kind of employer that sponsors IND, which is I think IND stands for the what is it? The Dutch naturalization something. I forgot what it was called. I was doing research, and I said I wanted to move to the Netherlands because I just like the Netherlands, and the towns are structured nicely. They tend to be a lot smarter with a lot of city design or town design, and I'd probably be moving to one of the smaller places. There's like one northeast of the Netherlands that I want to move to, and it's close to the water, and there's like a little river that goes through it at least, and it's there are no cars allowed in the city center, so that's also interesting because I'm more interested in foot and bike traffic, more in potentially public transit, which I wouldn't mind going to Amsterdam for. So potentially Amsterdam, but Amsterdam's a lot more expensive. I'd rather go to a place that's less expensive, and this place is focused on innovation and technology and all that, so I think I would be a good fit as long as I actually develop my skills and my critical thinking skills and going in a general direction pertaining technology. So I'm going to back end. Apparently that's what my mind wants to do right now, so I'm just going to let it flow, I guess, to go with the flow. Yeah, so, yeah, IND, where's IND? Oh yeah, it stands for Dutch Immigration and Naturalization Service, which is basically what, you know, the employers, if they support that, then I don't know how it works because I just started reading this, but, yeah, so it basically just, they have some kind of contract between, whatever that entity is, to then allow foreigners like me to go in through employment or school. I'm not sure about school yet, but I would prefer to go through employment because I'm stubborn and I don't like school. I mean, you know, maybe their school system's better than the United States, so potentially I would like it more than here. So yeah. So I was looking, it seems like I had to get a residence permit, which is normal, I guess. It's supposed to be more than 90 days if I'm trying to do that, so I have to figure out how to do that. And what does provisional stand for? Oh, temporary provisional. Okay. To enter the country depending on your nationality. Yeah, I had to do a lot of research for that. So I'm trying to see if I can maybe get myself to move there in the next few years. But I'm going to be focusing on technology and stuff because then I'd be able to go there and live a pretty decent life, hopefully. I don't like, again, I moved to the city just to see how it would be like in the United States, but the United States is just so, I don't like it. I don't like the design of the cities. I want to move somewhere that's nicer than this. And the Netherlands seems to be the place that I'm interested in as of now for whatever reason. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm not gonna talk about it until I know exactly what I'm doing. But I just kind of searched it on Perplexity to see what steps I'd have to take to get there and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that basically I would think of the sequence of events as you have to have a visa, of course, and I think that's the best way to do it. And you'd have to find an employer there that is supported by or that sponsors IND, like I said, and hopefully they'll be able to help me out with finding housing and residential place that I can just move into, or maybe they'll provide housing for me if I'm interested in that. But then again, I would actually have to make myself a useful producer in that economy, and it seems to be centered around, of course, like service. There's always service in towns, of course, so there's service centered stuff, but there are other things, of course, too, like I said, IT and technology, innovation, science probably, and they have CERN in the Netherlands as well. I think it intersects between France and Switzerland and the Netherlands or something. Maybe it goes into Germany. I'm not sure how big the particle accelerator is, but yeah, I mean, like, at least I'll be in that general area, and I can go to Amsterdam every once in a while, depending on the public transportation or if I'm doing something else. And it seems like it would be a cool place to live in my 30s. So I'm aiming for my 30s to get there. Hopefully. I'd like to dream, and I like to look forward. I consider myself to be a visionary as well, so I tend to plan out pretty far into the future. As long as I'm not ruminating about the past. I can go both directions. I try not to ruminate into the past, but now I'm kind of looking forward as opposed to worrying about all the mistakes I made and whatnot, and the relationships I had, and the people that try to take me down and everything. So I decided to drop all that and just focus on my future and the present moment to get to the future. Standard process like anything else. And yeah, so other than that, I've been looking at Neovim and looking at how to build plugins and whatnot. It seems pretty simple. I haven't built my own plugin because I don't like I said, I want to do something with my first plugin is probably going to be a plugin manager, and then I probably want to do something involving some kind of refactoring process or some kind of refactor. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. The only reason I'm reinventing the wheel for plugins is because I just think it's the ones that are available. One's broken, and then the other one is kind of just basic, not broken, it's not maintained properly, so it won't be able to probably run the newer Neovim stuff, and then the lazy Vim just has too much for me. It's just too much. It's like I don't need all the stuff that it provides, and I want something simpler, so I'm just going to build my own plugin manager, and I'm going to probably use a bunch of plugins that most people use for Neovim. I don't know what tree setter is, but I'm going to look into that. I also used to use Nerdtree. Nerdtree is pretty good. It feels like an IDE because you can actually it was like Control B or something to look at the file directory or the tree directory within a given folder. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to get that. I liked that, and it felt like an IDE, sort of, without all the other stuff. I mean, I obviously, I have a whole list of things I want to do. I don't want to think about it too much because, again, like I don't want to get overwhelmed. But I've been compiling notes on what I want from my editor, and I had some minor variables and functions that are common that I want to map for convenience if I know I'm going to be using it a lot. So I've been writing notes on that and telling myself that I need to implement ways on like mapping like certain commands from Neovim to compactify into either a key combination or the colon commands. So I'm going to figure out how to do that for some of them. One of them was definitely the runtime paths. I think I don't really, actually, you know what, I don't even have to worry about runtime paths as long as I put the runtime, the plugin that I'm building into that particular runtime path. The most common one is the local one, .local/share/nvim/ what was it, /site or something. I think it was /share/nvim/site/packer/pack/start, and then that's where all the plugins go. It's so fucking long. It's like, who's going to remember that? I only remember that because I have it in my wiki memory as of now, because I'm messing with all this shit. So I have to like figure that out, and yeah, so again, like I'm just taking it one step at a time. Before I even start working on the functionality of my plugin, I want to understand the general structure of like actually building the plugin and running it through, you know, Nvim. And Nvim, I think you just have to have it to runtime. And then you can just like call the Lua command, because again, there was this guy on YouTube that I talked about, and you can do as long as you have it in runtime. It was weird because the way he built it, it's the same tree, right? The tree structure for plugins is you have the plugin name, then you have like Lua, then the plugin name, then init.lua, which is I don't know why it's just how the structure is. Don't ask me why it's like that. And then the other one is actually the require for it. I don't know what the other file's for. I know the init.lua is the actual function that you're running, and then the other part is it's under plugin, and then it's the plugin name.lua, and that's, I don't know why they have to have two when the init. Maybe it's just because if you're running the init, I don't know. Maybe that's just for the general structure of Neovim if you want to have isolated instantiations and whatnot. So maybe that's what it was doing, and then you'd actually, I don't know, but they put the function the init.lua, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I haven't looked through the whole video, so I guess maybe I'll understand why they decide to what they decide to do with the other file, which is the plugin name.lua. But plugin name isn't a variable, as in like whatever name you decide to have it. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking at that, and I have just, again, my brain is kind of like, I'm balancing it out with the way it tends to branch, and then I'm kind of like focusing on some of the branches more as opposed to, and I'm reminding myself, I'm telling myself, well, okay, again, my main priority is to gain capital, and that this stuff is fun. I think this is actually a good way to gain capital because a lot of people like Neovim, and if you know how to, like, if you understand the general structure of Neovim, and you know how to make plugins and build things, and then you probably start getting into like you know, contributing in GitHub and whatnot, and I had to learn Git before I can start contributing GitHub, and actually, and I that's like probably the next month or two, right? Maybe, I don't know, because it depends on how focused I am. It depends on like how, like, if I get a job and all that, and if I don't know if I can like juggle like all that together. So I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just going to take my time and just go one step at a time, and I will slowly build up to that because. So I want to slowly, maybe, I think that's another plan of mine, is that I want to start contributing on with Neovim. And, you know, of course, if you're a developer and you have an active history in GitHub, then that's really good in portfolios and whatnot, especially if you're contributing to things that you find to be worthwhile, right? And I find Neovim to be worthwhile because it's my favorite text editor, and I think it's fun configuring it, and maybe being able to help out people with that, like it too, to you know, take my plugin and use it. You know what I mean? So if they ever need it, but I also I consider myself to be fairly creative. I haven't been using my creative side as much. I've been very logical. So I've been like kind of like thinking linearly, trying to be more creative. But I know I do have a pretty decent creative capacity, so I'm slowly starting to use that muscle more again because it's been a long time. So I have my tea here. It's just green tea with mint, and I think it's caffeinated. I didn't get the decaf. I think I'm going to transition to tea in the morning as opposed to coffee. I'm tired of coffee. I say I'm tired of coffee. I actually really like the taste of coffee. I don't know. I have other reasons on why I want to get off of coffee. I don't feel like specifying as of now. It's slightly personal. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, who's post? Somebody posts on YouTube. Oh, Morgan. Okay. Yeah. So I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and I'm just looking at my notes right now because I had to remind myself to focus on one thing at a time, which is why I'm writing down, because I'm just like, my brain's like, yeah, do this and this and this and this, and it's like, okay, fine. I'll write it down, and then I'll start like just crossing these. It's like basically my to-do list, but for Neovim stuff, oriented stuff. Yeah, so LSPs, I'm looking at Nerd Tree, and then there was like another, I told myself that I was going to do research on basic plugins like Telescope and Tree Sitter, which are very common, FCF, LSPs, and what else? There were probably other things that I didn't talk about in Nerd Tree yet. Oh, it's up there. Fuzzy Finder, FCF just sounds for Fuzzy Finder, I think. So yeah, I mean, I have quite a few things I need to do. I'm going to put that under here, just so I can... I don't know, like when you write things down, it tends to stick in your head easier, so maybe I won't forget it. I definitely won't forget SCF because I didn't write down SCF and it was in my head for whatever reason. Yeah. And what are other ones? I just want to like compile a bunch of random like things I need to research on. And then I kind of want to like read these plugin structures and whatnot, and just kind of like look at a general pattern to see how they do it, and maybe it'll give me good ideas on what I'd like to do. Yeah. So nerd tree, LSPs. I'm probably missing a couple other things. Oh, there's Mason as well. What is Mason? I think Mason's a plugin manager. So I have to look at that. I forgot about Mason. So Mason, let me see. I'm gonna use Perplexity again really quick because now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably. How do I build? Okay, I've been using this a lot. So. Let me just see something. I'm just looking at a list. Oh, people, yeah, CMP. Oh yeah, I have to find a way to. I think LSPs typically have autocomplete, so I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that. Telescope is a fuzzy finder. Yeah. Nvim.cmp, completing tool plugin. Okay, let me do something here. I don't know, quite a few tools actually, so I'm gonna write these down because I know I'm probably not gonna. I have so many tabs open. I have like 1 trillion tabs open just pertaining to everything I've been doing for the past few days. Man, oh no. So, Nvim-cmp is a completer plugin. They have an LSP config. Okay. Nvim. Yeah, they're just a lot. There are a lot of things. Telescope. There's Lua line. Oh, for UI enhancements. I haven't even looked at any color schemes. I like the color scheme that I'm using now. Honestly, I don't really care about color schemes too much. Honestly, it doesn't, like what I'm using now is fine. Status line. Oh, what is? Oh, right. Yeah. Status line is probably just for general commands that you input, or runtime commands as well that you can output, which is the status line. Lua line. Tree. File explorer for Neovim and Lua. Why not nerd tree? Interesting. They use tree as opposed to nerd tree. Maybe nerd tree is. Maybe it was just. No, I don't think it was discontinued. Maybe this is just an older.
Welcome.
It talks about it. Okay, I've seen this video before. Git signs. Okay, stage systems, a bunch of Git stuff. Markdown. Yeah, there's a lot. I used Perplexity and it outputted like 50 different plugins. So I was like, okay, I can't just, obviously that's just too much for my brain to put into its working memory. I just can't do it. So I'll probably look at it more and just reference it and see anything that stands out that I would like, and I'll probably just put it onto my my list, and then I'm just going to just think of, like, I just want to think about it thoroughly before I put it into my configuration, because this is personalized, and I want to throw something I'm never going to use, right? So I'm going to actually think about it, and then if I don't like it and I want something close to its functionality, I'll build it myself. Now, obviously, easier said than done. I still have to figure out like how to build, plugins and whatnot, and I think you can use all Lua. You can use all Lua as a language to then use it during runtime, and then it'll call those functions to then create a plugin, basically. And these plugins can be in the actual runtime directories. So, and you know what I think I'll do is I'll do the same thing as in like the other. I'm gonna look at the structure of. Maybe no. Like, Vim text was actually built for Vim. but you can still, it's backward compatible, so Neovim can actually use .vim plugins, so that's really nice, and you just use packer.packadd for that. So yeah, quite a bit to do. I'm going to study the structure of modern, Neovim plugins. So I think, but anyways, like I already told you guys, the structure is what I said earlier about like it starts off with Lua and then plugin and then Lua plugin. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why they do it, but just whatever. It's just how they do it. It's convention. You cannot. Convention is convention. So whatever. I still like how Perplexity gives you recommended searches too, because it'll probably come up with a related question that before the brain can come up with it, which is nice. Yeah, telescope, of course. Yeah, I think I may have to do that. Oh, it uses grep. Doesn't grep use regex? I may have to look at nvim tree. There's .lua. Oh, so this is considered a .lua, and then there's a .nvim. So I guess you can use Vim script as opposed to Lua script. So it depends on the way you want to write it. So, but I'm assuming .nvim is the same as Vim script, right? I don't know. Let me see. Let me just search a random nvim. Or is this the... Okay, this just has to be the plugin which contains all of it. I don't know why I had to put .nvim on there. Why is this one .lua? I don't understand. Oh, Jesus. I'm just annoyed. I have so many goddamn tabs. I feel like my brain cannot keep up with all the tabs it has, and I have to look for it. And I've been trying to use, what are they called? These folders for the tabs and whatnot, but still, I also made a lot of folders for all of the resources that I'll be using in the near future. So I've already been like thinking ahead about like what tools I'm going to be using, like AI tools and project resources like Go and the docs for everything, and I'll just click on it, and I have health resources and reading resources. And just everything that I need. Just everything that I need, because my brain wants to start moving fast, but it also likes to do an initialization process, which can take up to a couple of days before it really starts moving exponentially. So that's what it seems like, at least, because I tend to do things fast, but I can be very inconsistent at times. But it seems like I'm being more consistent, especially the past few days. So, okay, what was I doing again? Oh yeah, .nvim. What was it? What was the God damn it! I keep getting sidetracked. People probably. This was nvim tree .lua. I think I'm going through another matic state. Unfortunately, I don't think it's unfortunate. It helps me out, but I know that in the next few days I'm going to crash, and I also have to do some. Oh, this is nice. I like this. How often is it maintained? There's a lot of stars. It seems pretty popular. Last Git commit was 15 hours ago. How do you look at the history of the commits? I don't know how to use the 1,566 commits. If I click on that, oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do this like, it seems like every week or so they're doing some kind of commit. Git commits actually do like a full push into the, well, it's like, I don't think they branch it in, they're doing commits to another branch before they push it in main, probably. Yeah, I mean master, sorry, they call it master. Okay, so they had a release 1.8 on November 8th. And a lot of commits on the actual maybe the dev branch. I don't know how they branch it. I think you can name that with Git, but I don't know what they do. So a lot of commits though. It's pretty every like half week to a week of commits. So they're pretty active on here, meaning that is probably pretty stable. I like this. It's dark too. Ooh, automatic updates, file type icons. Yeah, this is another technology I'm probably gonna have to look at. Oh man, I love messing around with Neovim, but I need to relax for a second because I get a little bit too excited about these things at times. Just Neovim tree toggle. Focus. Oh, I see. Open or close, and then you can focus to a new tree. Open the tree if it is closed, and then focus on the tree. Okay. Okay, this seems pretty. Yeah, I like this. Move the cursor in the tree for the current buffer. Move the cursor in the tree for the current buffer. Opening folders. Oh, I see. Sort of. Tree and Neovim tree and file. Oh, find file. My brain didn't process. Okay. So cool. It seems pretty okay. I'm gonna have to read into that. Maybe I'll save it. Oh, now I actually have a good reason to make another folder because I don't have a Neovim folder. I don't think. I have Go and Postgres. Maybe I'll make that under project resource. No. I'm just gonna a new folder. I'm gonna move this. Oh God. Oh, I have reading. I guess I'll put this over here for reading. A lot of stuff. I don't know why I didn't use. I don't know. This is a lot of bookmarks. Oh well. Worth. I'm just gonna call it Neovim tree. Oops. Okay. I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, that's all I've been doing, and yeah, I don't know what was going on last night, but I could not sleep, and I still have a lot of energy for whatever fucking reason. My head was just running the whole night. It was running the whole goddamn night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. How long has it been? 30 minutes? 27 minutes? Yeah, I think that's pretty long. So, yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.